Western Log. You completed your last mission. You showed courage. But courage without discipline is only luck in disguise.
Mission 2 completed.
This time, your destination is Manchester. You must complete every mission, spend as little money as possible, and adapt to every obstacle without giving up. Remember, money creates comfort, but discipline creates freedom. Now go and earn your next mission. Missions. Mission 1, book the cheapest possible flight. Mission 2, reach the airport without paying for parking. Mission 3, stay within budget no matter what happens. Mission 4, find the cheapest hotel. Mission 5, eat breakfast for free by creating value. Mission 6, find one of the oldest original books in Manchester. Mission 7, complete every challenge inside the National Football Museum. Mission 8, solve every unexpected obstacle without giving up. Mission 9, return home having completed every mission and, if possible, spend nothing. Or even better, get paid to travel.
While I wait for my friend to arrive, I've got a quick morning routine to take care of. No, I'm not going to tell you exactly what this is, yet. Let's just say it's part of a little experiment I've been working on. One day I'll share the results. For now, it stays a secret. A few minutes later, headlights appear in the distance. My friend has arrived. He doesn't want to be on camera, and I completely respect that. So today he'll stay behind the scenes. You might not always see him, but he'll definitely be part of the adventure. There's something different about driving this early. The roads are empty. The world is quiet. For a moment, it feels like the entire country is still asleep. I wish I was more of a night person, because moments like this are hard to beat. No traffic, no noise, just the road ahead. Well, until we reach the toll. I've never understood why we pay to use a road we've already paid for. Road tax, insurance, fuel, and now another charge? I suppose that's just part of the journey. Every adventure comes with a price. The trick is making sure it's worth paying. One of the biggest travel expenses isn't the flight, it's everything around it. Airport parking, taxis, hidden costs, they all add up. So instead of paying to leave the car at the airport, we came up with a different plan. Park at a nearby hotel, then use their free airport shuttle, completely legal. No parking fees, no taxi fare, just one small decision that keeps the mission alive. Sometimes saving money isn't about sacrificing the experience. It's about thinking differently. I don't know what it is about airports, but somehow I always get lost. It doesn't matter if it's my first time here or my 10th. I still end up walking in the wrong direction. The worst part, I hate asking people for help. So instead of admitting I'm lost, I spend twice as long pretending I know exactly where I'm going. Maybe it's pride, maybe it's stubbornness. Either way, it usually turns a 5-minute walk into 15. Eventually, after a few wrong turns and a little unnecessary panic, we found our gate. Booking the cheapest flight came with one catch. We couldn't choose our seats. The airline picked them for us, and of course, we ended up on opposite sides of the plane. Now, this might not sound like a big problem, but every adventure is better when you can share it. So before the doors closed, we had one final challenge. Find a way to sit together without paying for an upgrade. Sometimes the cheapest option doesn't create the biggest inconvenience. It creates the first opportunity to think on your feet. Against all odds, we actually managed to sit together. A kind passenger was happy to swap seats, and just like that, problem solved. It's funny how one small act of kindness can completely change your day. Then, just before takeoff, I noticed something on the window. A small sticker of Jesus. I have no idea who put it there, or why, but I smiled. No matter what religion you follow, or even if you don't, there's something comforting about believing someone wished safety for the people on this flight. So if you're somehow watching this, and you're the person who put that sticker there, let me know in the comments. Dinner's on me, the safety demonstration and takeoff. Be honest, when the cabin crew starts the safety demonstration, do you actually pay attention? Or have you convinced yourself you've seen it enough times already? No judging. Just answer honestly in the comments. As for me, I always tell myself I'll listen carefully. Then somehow my mind ends up somewhere completely different. A few moments later, the engines begin to roar. This is the part that never gets easier for me. No matter how many times I fly, That moment when the plane leaves the ground still makes my heart race. It's exciting, but I'd be lying if I said it wasn't a little terrifying too. Not long into the flight, the plane suddenly started turning. For a second, it almost felt like we were going around a giant roundabout in the sky. I just sat there thinking, maybe the pilot's having a little too much fun today. Then the turbulence started. You could feel the whole plane shaking. A few people went quiet. One passenger behind us wasn't feeling too good, let's just say. Someone definitely won't be recommending the in-flight breakfast. I know turbulence is completely normal, but that doesn't stop your imagination from creating every possible scenario. Be honest, are you someone who enjoys flying? Or do you count down every minute until the wheels touch the ground? Let me know. I can't be the only one. Above the clouds. Then, everything changed. The higher we climbed, the smaller the world became. Looking down from up here, it's strange to think that all the borders we create on the ground simply disappear. From the sky, there are no countries, no fences, no lines, just one world. And the clouds. When I was a kid, I genuinely thought they were made of ice. Now seeing them from above never gets old. They almost look like an endless ocean stretching across the horizon. Sometimes I wish I could see the world the way birds do. Maybe that's why traveling changes your perspective. Because every now and then, you get to see life from a completely different angle. Landing in Manchester. As we began our descent, the plane started bouncing in the wind. For a moment, it felt like we were being pushed around by the weather. Maybe it's because it's a smaller aircraft, or maybe Manchester just wanted to remind us who was in charge. Either way, a few seconds later, the wheels touched the runway. Mission 1 was complete. We'd made it to Manchester. But looking back, getting here turned out to be the easiest part of the entire adventure. Because the moment we stepped into the airport, a completely unexpected mission found us. The unexpected mission. The second we walked into the terminal, something caught our attention. A woman looked genuinely worried. She wasn't rushing to catch a flight. She was looking for help. At first, I thought she'd lost her luggage, or maybe missed her flight. But it was something completely different. Sometimes you travel expecting to complete the missions you planned, only to discover that life has a few missions of its own waiting for you. And this one, we couldn't just walk past. A pigeon had somehow become trapped behind a barrier. According to the woman, it had been stuck there for days. No food, no water, no way out. This wasn't one of the master's missions, but not every mission is assigned. Some choose you. I grabbed a tissue, slowly reached in, and carefully picked it up. I won't lie, I was half expecting it to peck me. Instead, it stayed surprisingly calm. Getting it out turned out to be the easy part. What happened next was something none of us saw coming.
Go there, see if I can get the... Oh no, that's why he's probably been stuck in here. Oh, he's gorgeous, look at him. Hello. Because once we go up, not to here, we'll see. Yeah, don't want to look over here. Excuse me. There's a bird here. Look, a bird. Can you open? With the bird? There's no one there? Should we try and come up?
if we rode it from Ireland. That would have been so funny. Excuse me, sir. Hello. Excuse me. We found a bird literally stuck on the door. Cool. Alright, yeah. Oh, yeah, cool.
Stuck with a pigeon. The pigeon was safe. There was just one small problem. We weren't. The automatic door had locked behind us, which meant the only way out was to carry the pigeon through the airport until we found someone who could let us back through. I've had some strange moments while traveling, but casually walking through an international airport holding a pigeon definitely makes the list. People kept looking at us, some smiled, others looked completely confused. I can only imagine what they were thinking. If pigeons needed passports, this one was definitely ready to board. Eventually, a member of staff understood what had happened, unlocked the door, and we released the pigeon outside. Watching it fly away was strangely satisfying. It reminded me that sometimes the most memorable moments of a trip aren't the ones you plan. They're the ones you never saw coming. After making sure to wash our hands, we jumped on the train and headed for our next mission, finding the cheapest hotel in Manchester. And honestly, for the price, I couldn't believe how clean it was. Simple, comfortable, everything we actually needed. Maybe not the shower though. Let's just say if you're sharing the room with a friend, someone has to volunteer to leave the room for a few minutes. Then, disaster. I reached for my camera. Nothing. Black screen. No response. At first I thought the battery had died. Then I tried another one. Still nothing. After everything we'd already filmed, the camera had stopped working. For a moment, I genuinely thought the challenge was over. Buying another camera would destroy the budget, and that would mean failing the mission before it had really begun. That night, what if we've lost everything we filmed? By morning, I was running on almost no sleep. Sleep wasn't really an option. I kept replaying the same question in my head, one last time. I picked up the camera, changed the memory card, pressed the power button, and it came back to life. The camera wasn't broken after all. The memory card had become corrupted after filming for so long without a break. It was such a simple fix, and it reminded me of something. When a problem appears, we often jump straight to the biggest solution. Replace it, spend money, start again. But sometimes, the answer is simply to slow down, stay calm, and think. That small victory meant one thing. The mission was still alive. And now, the real adventure could finally begin. After barely sleeping, it was time to wake up and continue. No matter how tired you are, the mission doesn't stop. That's the difference between having a dream and actually chasing one. You don't always get perfect conditions. Sometimes you start tired, sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes you have to continue anyway. Today, we had two objectives. First, find a way to have breakfast at one of Manchester's best cafes without spending any money. And second, discover something from history that most people walk past without noticing. The budget was still alive. The camera was working. But the hardest part of the challenge was just beginning. One thing I've learned from traveling on a budget: being cheap doesn't mean you have to miss out. A lot of people think adventure requires expensive hotels, luxury restaurants, and a lot of money. But sometimes, the best experiences come from finding another way. Instead of staying right in the city center where prices can quickly destroy our budget, we stayed somewhere more affordable and used public transport to get around. A few extra minutes of traveling saved us enough money to create more memories. And honestly, I prefer it this way, because when you have to solve problems, you start seeing opportunities you would normally miss. Our first mission of the day sounded simple. Have breakfast at one of Manchester's nicest cafes, without paying. But there was one rule: no asking for free food, no shortcuts. We had to create something valuable in return, because the world doesn't work by just taking. The best opportunities come when both sides benefit. So we headed to Bruncho, a beautiful restaurant with amazing food, a great atmosphere, and exactly the type of place that could easily break a small travel budget. Now came the difficult part. How do you convince someone to give you breakfast without asking for a favor? The answer wasn't asking. It was offering. We explained our challenge. We weren't looking for a handout. We wanted to create a fair exchange. We showed them what we do, how we create videos, and how we could help more people discover their restaurant through our platform, redari.com.
My products are beautiful. Why can't customers find my shop?
You're not alone. Many great businesses lose customers because people simply can't find them.
That's exactly why I'm here. I have something that can help.
Oh, what is it?
Let me show you. This is Redari. It has everything.
Oh, wow, show me.
Dairy.com is a Europe-based, next-generation business writer and discovery platform.
Wow, that sounds incredible.
With Redari.com, customers find your business instantly.
Oh, that's amazing. Show me.
See? All the local listings.
Wow.
Radari makes businesses visible to local customers and millions globalist. Visit in person, use click and collect, or book services.
Wow, that's impressive.
Most importantly, you have full control of your business. Your customers pay you directly in person.
That's perfect.
Radari doesn't process payments from customers. We simply make your business visible to more customers. So, this dashboard gives you real-time insights.
Oh, that's great.
And you can customize it.
I love it.
You can search for products or contact.
Perfect.
You can find products near you.
Wow, that's so convenient.
And you can sell things too. You don't need Amazon, Shopify, millions of social media followers, or even your own website to start selling.
Already have a website?
If you already have a business website, you can link it to your Radari.com profile. If you don't have one, your Radari.com profile can act as your official business website. Businesses don't fail from poor quality, they fail from lack of visibility. Build your online presence, list products, and get customers to meet it. Visit Radari.com now. Register this month and sell for free.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's publish it.
Great! Why did this happen? I need to go shopping, but I never know where to find what I need. I wish there was an easier way. I don't know which local shop has the product I need. I'm tired of wasting time and money looking for just one product. I don't want to shop online and wait for weeks. I wish one app could show me exactly where to find it before I leave home. Hey, look at this site.
What is it?
See? It's Radari.com.
Is it real?
Of course. Look at all this.
Wow.
Simply search by product and your location. Radari shows you exactly which nearby businesses have the product or service you need. Book your item or use click and collect. No waiting weeks for delivery. That's exactly what I mean.
Hi, is my West Globe men's tracksuit ready for click and collect from Radari?
Yes, it's been reserved just for you.
Thanks, I just got the notification.
Perfect. Thank you, Radari.com. This place is so busy. Business has never been better. I found exactly what I needed with Radari.com. Thank you. See you again soon. Thank you for telling me about Radari.com. My business is growing.
You're very welcome. I'm glad Radari is helping your business succeed.
I know someone who sells products from home. I'll recommend Radari.com to them.
That's wonderful. We'd be happy to welcome them. No worries. Anyone who sells a product or offers a service can join Radari.com completely free.
That's amazing. I'll tell them today.
Invite businesses to join Radari.com and earn a 25% commission on every successful referral.
I'm so happy. Thanks to Radari.com, my home business is growing and customers are collecting my products every day.
Everyone, visit Radari.com to sell your products or services completely free.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's do it.
Buy products instantly with click and collect or book services directly from trusted local businesses. Save time and money while finding the products and services you need quickly and easily. For tutorials and updates, visit the Radari YouTube channel. Recommend Redari.com to your family and friends and help make their lives easier too. If you need any support, contact us anytime at info@redari.com.
A few minutes later, they agreed. Mission complete. Breakfast. Without spending a single euro. But the best part wasn't that it was free. It was the feeling that came with it. We didn't get something because we were lucky. We created something that had value. And that idea applies everywhere. Sometimes you don't need more money. Sometimes you need more creativity. Then came the important question. What should we order? I went for something I had never tried before. A homemade pistachio cake and a golden turmeric latte. And honestly, it was amazing. Traveling teaches you something simple. The world is full of experiences waiting for you. But you have to be willing to step outside your usual choices. Sometimes the best memories come from trying something completely new. Now it was time for the next challenge. Find one of the oldest original books in Manchester. At first, it sounded easy. Walk into a library, find an old book, done. But when you realize how much history is hidden inside one building, you understand this isn't just a search, it's a journey through time. Instead of taking transport, we decided to walk. Not because it was the fastest option, because every step mattered. Every pound saved gave us more freedom later. And then something unexpected happened. While walking through Manchester, we discovered free city transport. Free, no ticket, no payment. Just another reminder that sometimes the best opportunities appear when you slow down and explore. But nothing prepared me for what we were about to see. Because the building ahead didn't look like a normal library. It looked like it belonged in another century. And inside were stories older than countries themselves. Stepping into history. The moment we walked inside, everything changed. The noise of the city disappeared. People lowered their voices. Everyone moved differently, almost like the building itself was telling you, respect what happened here. The architecture was incredible. Huge windows, stone walls, massive shelves reaching into the darkness. It didn't feel like a library. It felt like a place where human knowledge had been protected for generations. And the best part? Entry was completely free. No expensive ticket, no luxury experience, just history waiting for anyone curious enough to enter. The mission was simple: find one of the oldest original books. But the more we looked, the more we realized something. A book isn't just paper. It's someone's thoughts, someone's discoveries, someone's attempt to leave a message for people they would never meet, including us. Thousands of years ago, people didn't have the technology we have today. No internet, no computers, no instant sharing, but they still found ways to preserve ideas, and that is something worth respecting. The oldest stories ever written. The deeper we explored, the more unbelievable it became. Some books were made from materials we would never expect today. Wood, animal skin, fabric, metal, even stone. Back then, creating a book wasn't simple. It was a mission by itself. Every word required patience. Every mistake mattered. Every page represented hours, sometimes years of work. While searching for the oldest book, we came across something connected to Somalia. Historic stamps from a completely different part of the world, sitting inside a library in Manchester. And that's when you realize history doesn't belong to one place. Every country has pieces of the world's story. We also discovered ancient writing systems from China, symbols created to represent sounds and ideas, a time when people had to find creative ways to communicate without the technology we depend on today. The more I looked around, the more I felt like I was traveling without leaving the building. Because sometimes, you don't need to cross borders to discover another world. Sometimes you just need to open a book. Then we found something incredible. An ancient manuscript connected to Mesopotamia, over 2,000 years old. Looking at it, it barely looked like a book. It looked more like a collection of symbols, drawings, and codes. But that was the way people recorded knowledge back then. They were building a bridge between generations. A message saying, "We were here. We discovered this. Don't forget." And standing there, I started thinking, we have more information available than any generation before us. A single phone can hold millions of books. But do we value knowledge the same way? Maybe having more access doesn't always mean we appreciate it more. History has a strange way of reminding us. Human beings haven't changed as much as we think. We are still searching, still learning, still trying to leave something behind. One thing surprised me the most. This wasn't just a collection of British history. It was a collection of human history. Every corner had a different story, different countries, different cultures, different generations, all connected through one thing, the desire to preserve knowledge.
Does it have to be in a book form? because we're a library, not just book, but also items. So the oldest item is actually 4,000 years ago, and it's in that gallery. But it's not a book; it's a tile. It's like a floor plan.
Does it has any written words in there?
In that thing, no, it's just a floor plan. So it's quite a lot of rectangle over it.
Can you show me where that is, please? Yeah, thank you.
So, actually, this is also a very old one. So you can see here. And this is one of the earliest printed book in Europe. Yeah. So it's not the oldest book, but oldest printed.
The oldest printed book.
With these kind of woodcuts. So people need to carve reversely and then they'll print it. So that's really old. So as you can tell, it's quite really old. Yeah, but it's a floor plan for a temple, so you couldn't see any words on it, and it looks like some cracks in the tile. But it's actually the floor plan, like the floor plan, so you can see which room, like the rooms of the temple.
Oh, floor plan, you mean like architecture for there?
Exactly.
That's even better. Like.
So it's not a book, but the oldest item here right now is like that one. Yeah. And then, so today's Iraq.
It's from Iraq.
Yeah, so Mesopotamia. So, but that civilization is gone, so it's Iraq today. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And if you want to know the oldest kind of books, what it looks like, it looks a little bit like that. So nowadays we got books in cassette forms. Yeah. But back then, the oldest book I think is from bounded one is from India, and this is not that old, as you can tell over here.
Oh, that's the label for that one.
Yeah, but the
design
is very similar to the oldest one. So usually it's on bamboo, and then you got threads.
Okay. What would be the oldest word?
This one is one of them. This is from the Dongbang.
Okay.
So basically, all the words mean some sound. So
some sound.
Yeah, so you can see there are birds here, you see people hunting. So these are symbols of certain sound in China. So yeah. So it's a language, but I don't think people use it.
Oh yeah.
No, I think some people know it because of studying. Okay. But yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Then we discovered something that completely caught my attention, an old printing press from 1813. A huge machine made almost entirely from metal, standing in front of it. I tried to imagine what it was like using something like this every single day. No computers, no automatic printing, no shortcuts. Just people, patience, and incredible skill. Today, we can create something in seconds. A message, a video, a photo. Millions of people can see it instantly. But looking at this machine reminded me. Most of the things we enjoy today were built on the creativity and hard work of people before us. Sometimes we think every new generation becomes smarter, but standing inside that library, I started questioning that. Maybe we aren't always becoming smarter. Maybe we are becoming more comfortable. Because the people who came before us created incredible things with almost nothing. And maybe that's the real lesson. Limitations don't always stop creativity. Sometimes they create it. It was hours of the time to leave. The mission was complete. We came looking for one old book, but we found something much bigger. We found stories, ideas, creativity, proof that people thousands of years ago were just as curious as we are today. Walking back outside, Manchester felt different. The same streets, the same buildings, but my perspective had changed. That's one of my favorite things about traveling. You don't always come back with something in your suitcase. Sometimes you come back with a different way of seeing the world. And the best part? This entire experience cost us nothing. No expensive attraction, no luxury ticket, just curiosity. But the day wasn't over. The master had given us another challenge. And this time, we were entering the world of football, a place full of history, competition, and a few unexpected victories. The next mission sounded simple. Visit the National Football Museum and complete every activity inside. No skipping, no leaving early. Everything had to be tested. Now, I have to admit, I'm not the biggest football expert. My friend definitely knows more than I do, but that's exactly why I was excited, because sometimes the best experiences are the ones where you enter a world you don't completely understand. You become a beginner again. And being a beginner is where curiosity starts. The weather wasn't helping. Cold wind, heavy rain. Manchester was making sure we remembered where we were, but we kept walking, because every challenge has a choice. You can complain about the conditions, or you can accept them and continue. Finally, the National Football Museum appeared. And the best part, we had managed to get free entry. Another mission completed without damaging the budget. But once we walked inside, I realized this wasn't just about football. It was about dreams. Every trophy, every shirt, every photograph represented someone who started with nothing but passion. And now, it was time to see if we could complete every challenge they had waiting for us. Then we discovered the first activity, a football commentary challenge. Visitors were practicing their voices like real commentators. One person was already sounding professional. I looked at my friend. Maybe I should try. But honestly, I think my football commentary would need a lot more training. I would probably celebrate a goal before it even happened. Watching people practice reminded me, nobody starts as an expert. Every skill looks impossible until you are brave enough to be bad at it first. Then something unexpected happened. We saw a professional camera on display. My friend immediately looked at it. That's an FX9. I looked closer. I disagreed. No way, that's an FX3. A simple camera conversation turned into a serious competition. Then my friend made it interesting. Want to bet? A normal person would probably just check the camera, but somehow, we decided to put money on it. €100. Now, I have to admit, there was a small amount of confidence and a much larger amount of hope. Because if I was wrong, this museum visit was about to become very expensive. So we asked the owner. The answer came, it's an FX3. For a moment, silence, then victory. I know it was just a camera, but sometimes small wins make a journey more exciting, especially when you're trying to complete challenges with almost no money. One lesson I've learned. Opportunities are everywhere. Sometimes they look like a mission. Sometimes they look like a friendly bet inside a museum. The football challenges begin. After winning the camera bet, my confidence was probably higher than it should have been, which is dangerous because the museum had a lot more challenges waiting. First up, table football. Simple rules. Score more goals than your opponent. How hard could it be? A few minutes later, the result was clear. I won. At this point, I started thinking maybe I had discovered a hidden football talent. Maybe years of watching from the sofa had finally paid off. Then we noticed something written on the game. It's our time to change the game. A perfect message for this mission, because every challenge is the same. You don't improve by waiting, you improve by playing. Next challenge, World Cup history, the trophies, the legendary moments, the players who changed the sport forever. Standing there, looking at all those achievements, I realized something. Every champion was once a beginner. The difference wasn't that they never failed. The difference was they kept showing up in the Impossible Footballer Challenge. Then my friend gave me another challenge. A huge photograph filled with football legends, hundreds of players, different generations, different teams, different stories. Name as many as you can. At first, I thought it would be easy. I confidently started. 1 player, 2 players, 3. Then my memory completely disappeared. The problem with challenges like this is that confidence disappears very quickly. I recognized some. I guessed some, and some I had absolutely no idea. But now I want to pass this challenge to you. Look at the picture. How many players can you recognize? Comment your answer. Let's see who has the best football knowledge in the Westpa Globe community. Because every adventure becomes better when everyone watching becomes part of the challenge. You don't just watch, You participate. Discovering football's hidden stories. The more we explored, the more we realized something. This museum wasn't just about famous players, it was about everything around the game. The forgotten moments, the old equipment, the stories that most people never hear. Some photographs were easy to understand, a legendary goal, a famous celebration, a historic match. But others, honestly, I had no idea what was happening. And that's what made them interesting. Because history isn't always obvious. Sometimes one image can mean everything to someone, even if another person sees nothing special. We walked past old football boots, gloves, jerseys, trophies, objects that looked simple, but carried years of memories. The strange thing about museums is, you can walk past something in 5 seconds, but behind that object could be an entire lifetime, someone's dream, someone's sacrifice, someone's biggest moment. Every single item inside that building had a story, and the challenge was not just to see them, it was to imagine them. The football machines. Then we reached the interactive section. This was where the museum stopped feeling like a museum and started feeling like a playground. First challenge, a football simulator. The goal was simple: kick accurately, hit the targets, score points. The technology behind it was incredible. The glass room, lights activating, the system tracking every movement. Someone had clearly put a lot of thought into making football more than something you just watch. Then came the reaction challenge. Lights appeared across the wall. Find them, hit them, as quickly as possible. At first, it looked easy. Then the timer started. Suddenly your brain and your body had to work together. It reminded me of something important. A lot of skills in life are built the same way. At the beginning, everything feels impossible. But every attempt teaches you something. Every mistake improves you. Every failure gives you another chance to try again. Then came the jumping challenge. The mission, see how high I could reach. I jumped. The score appeared. Not bad. Maybe the master would finally approve. Or maybe he would just tell me, do not become arrogant. Either way, the mission continued. After completing challenge after challenge, we reached the final activity. A football game on the PlayStation. Finally, a challenge where I could sit down. I thought this might be my easiest victory. No running, no reactions, no physical effort, just football. The game started. A few minutes later, I lost. And honestly, that was probably a good thing. Because life isn't only about winning. If you win every time, you never learn how to handle losing. Every journey has moments where things don't go your way. A failed plan, a mistake, a bad decision, a missed opportunity. The important thing is not avoiding failure. The important thing is what you do afterwards. You accept it, you learn, you improve, then you keep moving. Because one loss doesn't define the whole game, and one bad moment doesn't define your whole life. With the football mission complete, it was time to leave. But before heading home, we needed one last thing, a moment to rest, and a way to find our way back without getting lost, which, knowing me, was already going to be a challenge. Rest, coffee, and getting lost again. After hours of exploring, we were exhausted, so we found a small Arab coffee shop to sit down and recharge. Sometimes people think traveling is about constantly moving, seeing everything, doing everything. But I think resting is part of the adventure too, because when you slow down, you actually notice things, the conversations around you, the people passing by, the atmosphere of a place. After our break, it was time to head back. But there was one rule: no Google Maps, no asking strangers, just our memory. And this was probably the most dangerous mission of the day. because my memory of directions is not exactly my strongest skill. We started walking confidently. At least, we looked confident. Inside, I had absolutely no idea if we were going the right way. We passed under bridges, quiet streets, empty areas. For a moment, it felt like we had accidentally entered the beginning of a movie where everything goes wrong. But that's the thing about challenges. The uncomfortable moments are usually the ones you remember. And eventually, after enough walking, enough guessing, and a few wrong turns, we finally found the station. Another problem solved, but the clock was still moving. And now, we had a flight to catch. Finding the train station felt like a victory until we checked the time. Suddenly, the next challenge appeared. Time. I don't know why, but somehow I always find a way to make airports stressful. Even when I promise myself I'll arrive early, I still end up calculating whether I have enough minutes left. We got our tickets, found the platform, and then the train arrived. The problem? We were not early, not even close. The whistle sounded, the door started closing. For a few seconds, everything slowed down. This was it. Miss this train, and we risked missing the flight. We ran. No dignity, no style, just pure survival. We made it inside just before the doors closed. Sitting down, I finally relaxed, because sometimes success isn't about having the perfect plan. Sometimes it's about staying calm when the plan starts falling apart. And honestly, that might be the biggest lesson of this entire trip. Problems are guaranteed. Your response is the part you control. The journey back to the airport. After the chaos, the train ride felt completely different. For the first time all day, we could just sit, relax, look out the window. And I have to say, this train was impressive. Comfortable seats, charging points, enough space, everything you actually need when traveling. It made me think about something. A good journey isn't always about arriving faster. Sometimes it's about enjoying the moments between the destinations, the quiet moments, the views, the conversations, the time where nothing is happening, but everything is still part of the story. Eventually, the airport appeared, and with it came the familiar feeling. Every airport has the same problem for me. The moment I enter, my brain stops working, signs everywhere, people moving in every direction, different floors, different gates. I honestly think airports secretly change their layout just to confuse people like me. But somehow, after enough walking, a few wrong turns, and some unnecessary panic, we found the way. Now there was only one thing left: get through security and make it onto the final flight home. The final airport challenges. Just when I thought the mission was almost complete, the airport had a few more surprises waiting. First problem, my chain ticket. For a moment, I couldn't find it. That small piece of paper suddenly felt like the most important thing I owned. I checked my pockets, my bag, everywhere. And then, there it was, safe. It's funny how your brain creates the biggest panic over the smallest things. Then came another reminder. Not every place allows filming. A security staff member politely asked me not to record in certain areas. And honestly, that's part of traveling. Exploring the world doesn't mean ignoring the rules. Respecting places and people is part of the adventure too. After that, we finally had time to relax. We found some seats, charged our devices, and for a few minutes, we weren't rushing anymore. Looking through the airport window, I watched all the vehicles moving around the runway. And once again, I had the same question. Why do airport vehicles always look so unusual? They don't look like normal cars. They look like someone started designing the future, then stopped halfway. But before I could find an answer, the announcement came. Final boarding call. Of course, the one thing I promised myself I wouldn't do, I did again. We were running. There are two types of travelers. The people who arrive at the gate early, relaxed, drinking coffee, watching everyone else panic. And then there are people like me. The final boarding call plays, and suddenly the peaceful airport becomes a racetrack. Bags on my shoulder, camera in my hand, running through the terminal. At this point, I'm not even surprised anymore. Every trip somehow ends with me questioning my own time management. But maybe that's part of the adventure. The pressure, the uncertainty, the feeling that something could go wrong at any moment. Finally, we reached the gate. The doors were still open. We made it. Sitting down on the plane, I looked back at the last 24 hours. A cheap flight, a rescued pigeon, a broken camera, ancient books, football challenges, getting lost, running for trains. And somehow, every problem became part of the story. Because the best adventures aren't perfect. They're unpredictable, and that's exactly what makes them worth remembering. The engine started. The lights inside the cabin slowly changed, and once again, we were leaving the ground. Even after everything, takeoff still gives me the same feeling. That moment where the plane accelerates, your body pushes back into the seat. And for a few seconds, your brain asks, are we really supposed to be flying right now? Then suddenly, the city becomes smaller. The roads become lines. The buildings become dots. From above, everything looks different. All the problems that felt huge on the ground feel much smaller from the sky. Maybe that's why I love traveling, not because of the places alone, but because it changes the way you see things. The cabin became quiet. Most people were relaxing, looking at their phones, sleeping. But I was looking out of the window. The sky was dark. The lights below were shining. And for a moment, everything felt peaceful. After a day full of challenges, this was the first moment where I could simply appreciate the journey, not the destination, not the missions, just the experience itself. And then, as always, I had one more question. Why does my window always end up being the dirtiest one on the plane? The closer we got to the ground, the stronger the feeling became. That familiar moment, the one I never fully get used to. The plane starts shaking, the wings move, the ground gets closer, and your brain starts imagining every possible situation. But a few seconds later, the wheels touch the runway. We made it. Again. It's strange. Flying feels completely unnatural. Yet millions of people do it every single day. A machine weighing thousands of kilograms floating through the sky, carrying hundreds of people safely across countries. Sometimes we become so used to incredible things, we forget how incredible they actually are. We walked out of the plane exhausted, but happy. The mission was almost complete. Now there was only one final challenge left. Get back to our car without losing it in the airport parking. And knowing us, that was not guaranteed. After everything we had done, the final challenge should have been easy. Find the car, drive home, simple. Except we forgot where we parked. Now, losing a car in a normal car park is stressful, but an airport car park, that's a completely different level. Thousands of cars, multiple entrances, different floors, different directions. We started walking, checking one area, then another. For a moment, I imagined the worst. Not because the car was gone, but because I could already hear the conversation. How did you complete a whole Manchester mission, but lose your car at the airport? Luckily, it didn't come to that. After about 10 minutes of searching, we finally found it. The car was exactly where we left it, waiting for us. And honestly, that small moment felt like the perfect ending. Because this entire trip was a collection of problems. A cheap flight, random seats, a pigeon rescue, a broken camera, getting lost, running late, finding our car. None of it went perfectly, but that's the point. A perfect journey might look good, but an imperfect journey creates stories. Craziest part about this trip is that it didn't cost us money. It actually made us money. We traveled to another country, completed every mission, discovered history, met unexpected people, helped a trapped animal, experienced things we never planned. All while proving one thing. You don't need a lot of money to create unforgettable memories. Money can make things easier. Of course it can, but money is not the reason most people never start. Usually, it's fear, waiting, overthinking, finding reasons why now is not the right time. But every challenge teaches you something. The uncomfortable moments, the mistakes, the failures, the unexpected problems. They are not stopping you, they are shaping you. Because the best stories are rarely created when everything goes perfectly. They are created when you step into the unknown and figure it out along the way. So if there is something you've always wanted to do, a place you've wanted to visit, a challenge you've been avoiding, don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. You only have one life. Experience as much of it as possible. But every completed mission creates a new challenge. The master is already preparing what comes next. A bigger challenge, a harder mission, more problems to solve, more lessons to learn. Because growth doesn't come from staying comfortable. It comes from stepping into situations where you don't know the outcome. So until the next adventure, keep exploring, keep learning, keep challenging yourself. Because the world is waiting and your next story is waiting for you to create it. Westbrook Love.